Literally, he puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! It seems like he's playing hard for it. Oh my goodness, what is this?
Touch is looking for Kato. He's got it. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. Backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this kid. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot.
Stay on the goal line. He did not merely over. Sweet. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm your best friend, Gallium, and today we have some playoff action coming to you live, and I'm here with my boy, Flip1010. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing real good because I'm casting with Gallium, the GOAT. It's gonna be a good one. Obviously, you know, it's kind of sad, Gallium. We're getting close to the end of the Nemesis season, you know, but we do have some of the best teams still playing remaining here, and so now we're going down to the Prospect League. We got the Gladiators and Hypernova, so I'm excited to see these two teams battle. Two teams, which I feel like, you know, recently, obviously, I feel like recently these two teams have been kind of powerhouses, you know, throughout this last couple of seasons in the Prospect League.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Hypernova and Gladiators have had winning seasons, and obviously you had that undefeated Gladiators run, season 11, I believe. So the Gladiators, I think, honestly, they were a team built in the draft. They basically got all the players that they have now from the draft, and Hypernova got Proterra from, I don't know where they got him, but they got Proterra and Izichad along with Vex. So I'm usually a ball knower, Flip, but like I am gonna be honest, I have no idea who to pick here.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that Proterra came from my org, the Melons, and he's the only reason why I'm AGM now, so shout out Proterra. But I think Proterra is gonna be a huge difference maker here, but Izichad, oh my, there's so many good players on these two rosters, so it's gonna be tough to say who I think is gonna come out on top here, Gallium. Like you said, normally I feel like you're the ball knower in Prospect League, so yeah. I was kind of relying on you for this one, but that's okay, because I think my boys Proterra, I mean, Izichad is here, and Izichad's like one of the lowest sales in all of Prospect, but he never plays like it. So I'm expecting Hypernova to pull off the upset here. Gladiators losing again, you know, after this time they're the 2 seed. That's what I'm expecting here, Gallium, and I'm going to say it's Hypernova 4-2.
4-2. So, you know, Flip has us going to 6 games. I might pick 7. And you know what? I'll go the opposite way. Gladiators in 7. I've had my eye on them all season long back when I was on the War Room org. I knew they were going to be a great team. I mean, just a phenomenal job by LeBerry getting all these players on the same roster, and it has paid dividends so far as these two teams are now fighting for a chance in the grand final. Brittany the Blade sends it up high. Proterra is going to get a touch. Big Gut gets a touch himself, and Vex is going to send it right back down. Izichad, if he's known for anything, it's defense. And he's also known to be very good friends with Brittany the Blade. So this is going to be an interesting match. Hopefully they, you know, whoever loses isn't too hard on the other person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel like whenever you're playing against your friends in the playoffs, like, you can't hold anything back because that's your friend, but also, like, you got to give respect and props to whoever wins. But it's just about whatever team comes out on top here, and so far, it has been Hypernova kind of stuck on the defensive end here, and Gladiators are looking to pummel this net more and more, and Brendy might have a shot there, not going to go through. But Gallium, this Gladiators offense is going full throttle.
They are putting their pedal to the metal right now, as we see them just kind of like swarming the Hypernova net. You know, they're like a bunch of sharks. There's blood in the water. You know, if that pink was a little bit red, but unfortunately it's not. But Big Goth, on the other hand, is going to take this ball, try to get it over one, but Vex is going to get it away. Brandy, a beautiful touch, but can't make the shot. Proterra, a great save. Proterra, also a great player. I mean, I could realistically go into every single player in this series because they're all just Nemesis legends and all very good players. But you know what? I'll do that later on in the series. Let's focus on this game one at hand here as Virgil gets a demo on Crotera. Big Guff is going to get a pass over to Brindy, but Crotera, beautiful, beautiful play. It's still floating in the Hypernova end. They have not caught a break yet. Virgil sends it over, and now Vex on the defensive side is going to bring it back into the Gladiators' end. Is a Chad now. Low on boost. Can he get up there to make a play? He can't find the ball, but luckily his teammate can. Now it's a 2-on-1. Crotera, nice pass. It's a Chad, a beautiful shot, but Brindy a great save, and that is a beautiful defensive stand for the Gladiators.
They have been on offense almost the entire game, and the counterattack almost came through, but the defense came up clutch. Now, on the other end, Brindy gonna get their shot saved, and Gallium, it feels like whoever scores his first goal might just take the game. Vex looking to do it there. It's not going to come through. Oh my, both these teams are so close to getting that first goal, and I feel like once that happens, Gallium, the floodgates, they're going to start opening.
Yeah, they are 100% going to start opening as soon as one of these teams scores a goal, as you mentioned. And I think, honestly, right now we're seeing some game one jitters, some stream jitters for sure. But I'm also, you know, they're both trying to feel each other out right now because, I mean, there's just a lot of playstyle switches. I've noticed like 3 this entire game one. So they're just trying to figure each other out what works. It is a Chad says, if I can put the ball in the back of the net and score, we'll probably win the game.
This time, I feel like I finally saw more than one player on this Hypernova team with boost, and they're able to make a great play out of it. The bump from Crotera is huge there, and we've seen a lot of physical play already, but finally, it feels like a solo play into a physical play. A little bit of teamwork is all that this Hypernova team really needed. Let's see if they can continue that, or this Gladiators team will finally find a way through after shooting the ball so many times already, but still not having a goal to show for it.
Yeah, you know, you can have all the pressure in the world, but if you don't capitalize on your opportunities, it is for naught. And so far, Gladiators haven't found the back of the net, and I think it has to do with this Hypernova defense, as you mentioned. I mean, they don't have many saves at all. Actually, the Gladiators have more saves than they do, but it's just about the fact that they are dominating their corners, right? When the Gladiators have an opportunity, there's always a player for Hypernova up to get the ball and get it out of the dangerous areas, right? You want to avoid the ball traveling across the face of the net as much as possible, and that's what these guys are doing so far. As is a Chad, beautiful air dribble into potentially a bump, but Guth is going to avoid that one. Crotera gets a touch. That is a beautiful touch. Gets another one, and now it's floating down. Can Vex find it? He can't find the shot. It's a Chad. He's there, and it's his second goal of the game. And you know what? If I had to put money on it, I don't think this is going to be his last in the series.
No, absolutely not. Izachad has just been kind of the main benefactor is what I'm looking for. That's the one. He's just been getting all these goals handed to him. Might have another one here. The shot not going to go through. Big Guth able to make the save, keeping this score at 0-2 in favor of this Hypernova team. And Crotera, who has been, I feel like, that main facilitator, and Izachad has just been receiving all of those passes. And finally, with about 20 seconds remaining, Gladiators are looking for one last opportunity here, Gallium, but it might be too little too late.
100%, and especially at this point in the game, as the clock is ticking down, it's all but a formality now. Hypernova coming out hot. You know, they didn't start hot in this game. Oh, maybe a goal? There we go, Big Guth. That's how we do it. Get a consolation goal, and that goal is actually big for them to go into this game too with a little bit more confidence. That's actually a really big goal. Now, they unfortunately did lose this game one, but Hypernova, they just had probably one of the more defensive starts I've seen in a while. They were in their end for a solid minute. And then they finally found out how to work this Gladiators team in the midfield. They were finding out how they need to dominate, and that is by playing those high aerial 50s. I mean, Izachad especially, you saw him take it across the midfield. When Izachad is behind the ball, it is very hard to get it into the opposing or the Hypernova end, right? You know, he's just such a big body, and he's on the ball pretty much the entire time. So Hypernova utilize him as basically a Swiss Army knife, and it's working to perfection right now. And I got to shout out Vex. 3 saves, but it felt like he had more. I saw him flying across the net a couple of times.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like Crotera, obviously he has the 2 assists, but more importantly, I felt like that midfield presence and also in the corners. You said it. You mentioned it. Like Hypernova played the corners extremely well, and I think the biggest difference between like the Hypernova defense and the Gladiators defense was Gladiators every touch that they had like in front of their own net was still resulting in another dangerous ball. While I felt like Hypernova was getting that challenge early, forcing really bad shots out of Gladiators, like shots from half field, and every shot, every touch was a touch to the corner, and they were able to get it out. But this Gladiators team, though, they were still able to apply a lot of pressure. I feel like they got to look for some more demos and bump plays, kind of like that Hypernova team did. And I think that is going to start opening up this Hypernova defense a little bit. And maybe Gladiators will start to find some success on offense.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the Gladiators are already finding a bit of success. I mean, obviously they had that early offensive stand in game one, but they're still applying pressure to this Hypernova team. We'll see if they overextended here as Vex makes a great play, and that is just dirty from Vex.
Yeah, I'm really just impressed with the angle. Like, obviously, the shot looks easy, like, but he just landed on 0 boost, is able to turn his car, get the shot on target, and usually a shot like that, you know, it's routine, like in training or something, but like this is a playoff game on stream, and the nerves are a lot higher, the stakes are a lot higher. But he was able to knock that one down. Vex coming up big already, a huge goal there, but so far I think as a whole he has been the most consistent and best player on this Hypernova team. As Crotera makes a save, but Virgil looking for that touch on the backboard, could be an opportunity for Gladiators, but Brindy's not able to make the shot there. And Gallium, these are the kinds of plays that I think Gladiators need to start making.
100%, you know, and they haven't gotten a goal that has kept them in this series yet. Obviously, they had that goal at the end of game one, but they need a goal now to equalize this game for obvious reasons, but not only that, but for their mental, right? You know, it's a playoff game, a playoff series, and they are honestly off of a little bit of a break here. So they're looking to get this first goal to kind of ease the tension a little bit and settle into this game, because it's all about finding a comfortable rhythm. And so far, they're not really executing the way that I would expect them to. We'll see if that changes here as Virgil can't find the touch. Brittany the Blade is going to get demoed. Absolutely eliminated Crotera with an Hall of Fame pass, but Big Guff, an even better save from him on the defensive end. Big Guff, he was a player on the Minotaurs last season at Prospect, a guy that I had my eye on. He was really good back in season 12, but unfortunately couldn't make a run. Now he's on this Gladiators team with 2 superstars, and honestly, he has been 100% one of the best role players in Prospect League by far.
Yeah, and I do think that he just knows his role well, and he plays that role well. We'll have to see if his 2 teammates can also step up, as Brindy is usually the name that I want to look towards. Whenever Brindy's on a team, it's always Brindy's name that I'm looking forward to seeing. Usually it pops up on the goal scored. We'll have to see if they're able to do something here, but Big Gus pass can go a little bit behind him. Isn't Chad looking for another shot, and more pressure here from Hypernova. I think Hypernova has stepped up the demo play, specifically Crotera, who has been a menace, and I think this Hypernova team is getting even more comfortable than they were in game one, and I'm telling you, that's just a scary thought to even think about.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you consider how they started off in game one, they've just gotten better and better, you know, and it seems as though they're just not going to stop yet. So Gladiators, they need this goal. A great opportunity here at demo, but Crotera is going to reach across the goal line for that one. Crotera gets a touch. Chad not quite there, and Big Guth is going to get to it before him. Brindy sends it over. Big Guth going for a demo instead. This is a very smart play. Oh my goodness, what a save from Vex. How in the world did he get to that one?
That one is just insane. Vex, so far, like I said, he has been that guy, and now in the midfield, look for the pass down. Crotera gonna pass it off the backboard. One more touch for Crotera as well. This Hypernova team, I feel like, are stepping up at the right time. Gladiators, they're still only down by 1. So 1 goal here, Ventus, and I'm sorry, I've been catching Ventus too much. One goal here, Gallium, and all these epic saves and all that. it's still just a 1-goal game. Hypernova, they're only up a goal, and it's the scariest lead in Rocket League because everything else like doesn't matter if you get scored on, which is one big mistake's all it takes. But Gladiators, they're struggling to find a way through.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think they just need to get really creative here. This is a nice play coming out from them, but unfortunately, double commit Virgil, a nice double, and Brindy's gonna be able to finish it off. Creativity to a key, exactly what I was asking for, and I know LeBerry is asking me to ask this Gladiators team to perhaps get another one to take this game too.
Yeah, and I think, Gallium, I think that the Gladiators have kind of gotten it going now. I think I'm seeing a little bit of a different movement. I can't even tell like what exactly it is. It just feels a little different. I think Virgil has been kind of he hasn't done a whole lot, and I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker here. So Brindy and Big Gut have been stepping it up for him, but Virgil, that last piece, and this Gladiators team will be fully unlocked. And with 10 seconds remaining, there's going to be one more opportunity as Vex is going to have to make a touch on that one. It's going to bounce off the sidewall. Virgil's going to be up. No touch coming through. Brindy, one last play. Virgil downfield. Brindy's going to try to hit this one off the backboard. No touch. We're in overtime, Gallium. 1-1. You couldn't ask for anything better in this semifinal matchup.
I mean, this is cinema right here. Game 2, overtime. If Hypernova win this game, they're up 2-0 in the series, and I would imagine the Gladiators might call a timeout. Gladiators, if they win, they even up the series. They make sure the Hypernova doesn't celebrate it, and Brindy with a wonderful save. Virgil! Oh my goodness, it doesn't matter now, but those 2 saves were insane. Protera finally finding the back of the net, but oh my goodness, that one almost went the way of the Gladiators.
Dude, that's the kind of game where you're going to remember it. You lose this series, you're going to think to yourself, man, we got a better save there. Man, if we were able to hold them off, and that's the kind of game. Those overtime games are so killer on the mental as well. Gladiators so close, yet it feels like so far because this Hypernova team kind of just turned it on. Overtime hit, and boom, they win. They got like 3 shots back to back to back there. You cannot really stop something like that whenever you stuck in your defensive end off kickoff, and it is just pounding the net from Hypernova. But as a whole, I think this Gladiators team is starting to figure it out a little bit. I'm surprised they're not calling a timeout yet, but I get it. You don't want to waste that just yet. But going down 0-2, I think they need to talk a little bit about their roles and how they want to play this game, because right now, the way I'm seeing it is in the midfield, you're either getting demoed or you're getting beat by if you're Hypernova. And other than that, if they're able to get the ball clear, then it starts to turn into a counterattack. But I feel like they get stuck on their own end, so they got to figure out a way to get past these Crotera demos. And this midfield game from Vex and Izachat following up on that, because right now Hypernova just looks like a well-oiled machine.
Oh yeah, Hypernova just seems like they have everything under control. I will say they do look like the more confident squad, and that perhaps could come with Crotera and Izachat's experience. But Vex, he was a sub last season. Matter of fact, he was a sub, and midway through the season, I believe he got dropped, I want to say. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but he was a sub pretty much the entire time, and I scrimmed him before last season started, and I was really impressed with his gameplay. I was surprised he was a sub, and you know what? Falnor Gallium, I guess, was right again, because this guy has just been unreal for Hypernova.
Now, in this next game, Gallium, if you're Gladiators, the way I'm playing it is a lot more aggressive, because they've had their way a couple of times, but it has not been enough. And so I'm sending the whole kitchen sink at this Hypernova squad now, seeing if they can deal with it, because at this point it's do or die, Gallium. You've got 2 games left, and if you lose those, it's all over.
Yeah, I think they need to get more creative on the offensive end. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I feel like they keep going for the same thing, right? They're going either in the corner, trying to send it across the face of the net, or going to the backboard and hoping one of the teammates can make a touch, but Big Gun is just going to do it all himself, and the Big Gun has a big goal in this Game 3.
This is the first time I think we've seen a real mechanical solo play attempt from this Gladiator squad, and Big Guth making the big play on the big stage. Gallium, you couldn't ask for a better step up from a player, and I think maybe a purposely delayed kickoff is going to let Crotera and this Hypernova team counterattack, but Brindy stepping up there, and guess who's back? It's Vex once again, but this Gladiators team, they know that this Hypernova team not going down without a fight, but this Gladiators team, they're here to play Gallium, and Big Gus showing that.
You know, I know we saw a sweep earlier on in the Prospect League, earlier on this stream, matter of fact, but I don't think this one's going to be a sweep. I think Gladiators really just, I mean, you see the resilience. It's all over your screen right now, but you have to also consider the fact that they were pretty much down and out. I mean, it looked very rough for them, and Big Guth comes out with a play like that. The amount of confidence you have to have, and not only yourself, but your team, to make that play and not expect to get counterattacked is honestly incredible, and it's probably why they have this lead right now.
Yeah, and now the counterattack, you know, from like this is the Hypernova team that I feel like is counterattacking a lot as well, like from these Gladiators offense. It's good, but I think Hypernova is at their best whenever Crow is demoing and they're playing a lot of midfield pressure. So if I'm Gladiators, I'm just trying to get this ball out. I'm trying to just go as fast as I can. And like I said, throw the kitchen sink at him, score as many goals as you can. This needs to be a feel-good game. Maybe a goal here off the counterattack. Big Guth not going to get there, is it, Chad? Saving it off his own post. This is the kind of attack that I think Gladiators need.
I mean, you were mentioning Crotera's demos, right? And I went against him in the mid-season tournament that we had in Nemesis. It was really awesome, by the way. And I was Crow-terrified of that dude. I mean, he just kept demoing me the entire game, and I was really uncomfortable. So I think he knows he has it in his back pocket, but I don't think he wants to bust it out just yet. It's a last resort, and they're up 2-0. So we'll see if he comes in and uses it, but we have a little over 2 minutes remaining in this game. Chad's gonna try to take a touch in the corner, but Big Guth there to intercept it. Crotera, 0 boost. Basically, all members of Hypernova have very minimal boost. Vex, a big miss there. Brindy just bumps him. That's a big play, and the two best friends get physical in the net.
Brindy knew what Chad wanted, and Brindy wanted all that Chad there. Virgil gonna be the cleanup there, but that's all Brindy, and this is the kind of pressure that this Gladiators team needs. I talked about the physical play earlier. I said that they need to start incorporating that like this Hypernova team was, and they do it to perfection right there, Gallium. And with about 2 minutes remaining here, this Hypernova squad, I don't know if they have much of an answer for this offense. Their defense was so locked down, and I felt like in game 1, but this offense, I feel like has stepped it up a pace here in this game 3. So this Gladiators team, I think they're just getting better and better as the series goes on.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say, you know, in terms of individual players, if you give Brindy some confidence, he's going to dominate a game. Not even a game, a series, right? That was that entire season 11. Emperor run, but wait a second. This might be a little dangerous here. Chad gonna get a touch, a beautiful double. Tries to get the 50, but it's not gonna go. Brindy fakes out that touch. Gonna try to look for the bump here. Only on 5 boosts. Crotera's just gonna hop over him. And now it's out of the corner. Big Guth almost on target. Virgil with the shot attempt, and that one's off. And it seems as though the post is playing the best defense for Hypernova right now. We'll see if they can't get a goal here, but there's 50 seconds left. There has to be something done about this 2-0 lead that the Gladiators have, because if they win this game, they get a bunch of momentum back on their side. Chad gets the flick down the field. He's going to try to go for the demo. Virgil is going to avoid him. Crotera sends it into the back of the net, and they're not done just yet, folks.
Yeah, this is just a really solid play here from Crotera. The shot, not an easy one. The placement is well it's well placed right there, but I think the bump, the scare of the bump by Chad forced Brindy into an awkward spot, and now in 1-goal lead, kickoff goal incoming, not gonna happen there. Crotera not gonna get the touch either. Vex with not a great 50, and Gladiators looking to survive these next 20 seconds, Gallium, but it's gonna be so tough. Brindy gets back to it, but this Hypernova team, they're looking primed to attack with 10 seconds remaining.
It seems as though they might just score here. Chad, he gets one. Get it in a second, and he does. But Crotera misses the open net, and that is devastating for this Hypernova team. Chad with one of the most insane double taps I have ever seen, and it doesn't go in the back of the net. What in the world is this series we're watching?
That one would have been. Oh my! That would have been Chad's career right there. Like that is just.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been the peak. That would have been the peak. But if you're Hypernova, you were that close, and you're still up a game, so you got to feel at least pretty comfortable. But if you're this Gladiators team, you're looking at the shot totals. You're looking at the overall offense that I felt like just was so dominant, and you're thinking to yourself, man, we have these guys now. We know how they play. We know how we play. We play to our strengths. We're in this series now. Gallium, I feel like now is the real start of the series. Hypernova, they have a little bit of a head start, but both these teams are now on the full sprint. It's just about who's gonna win this race. It's gonna be so close here, and I think, call me crazy, I think that Izichad miss. It's gonna turn to an Izichad goal later. I think he's gonna hit a nasty double. Maybe pretty soon. I think he's going to remember that one for later, but we'll have to see. Going into game 4 here, Gallium Gladiators, I feel like this is a must-win game for them here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that goes without saying, but like, I mean, especially considering the fact that both teams are trading ridiculous plays right now. I mean, it is just absolutely insane what they're busting out here. And this is prospect, mind you. You know, it's just the amount of confidence that they have. And you mentioned the fact that they're warmed up now. I think that's going to be a big role in how this game 4 plays out. And we'll see if Hypernova can't get a game back after losing that last one, as we see Izichad in his own end. Virgil sends it down. He sends it into the Hypernova end. Vex and Crotera both colliding on the 50. You can't get it past one. How about put a second person there? Izichad in the corner. He can't get the touch. A beautiful pass from Brindy. Izichad has to be there, and he is. Virgil can't find anything to go with that. He had no boost, nothing really to do there. Crotera sends it down. Brindy, a beautiful clear. Now Vex, 30 boosts to work with. He gets a nice touch off the corner. Virgil now tries to send a shot towards net, and Izichad is going to redirect that one down the length of the pitch. Brindy the Blade with a shot. This one's on target. Izichad, an amazing save. Read him like a book there, and he needed to, as we see Virgil sending it down. Crotera, he's up for it. Can he get a touch? No. It's going to be Virgil instead. Virgil sends it across the face of this Hypernova net, and Izichad isn't going to be able to reach that one. Brindy the Blade, he can't find it. Just then, Big Gut, though, trying to get a touch of his own into the back of the net like he did in Game 3, but it's not going to go for him either. Brindy tries to find a shot. Virgil now over to Brindy. Brindy can't find the touch. Vex, 0 boost, gets a nice 50. Brindy, he has a full tank. He can take this one slow, and I think he's going to opt to here. Crotera with the challenge, but Brindy is going to win that 50 there. Vex sent it down. Crotera, beautiful redirect. Is anyone there for Hypernova? Doesn't seem so, but wait a second. The Gladiators having a little bit of a miscue here as Bub's raining out. Brindy finally gets the save there. Vex, maybe with a shot, more like a pass there. Crotera off the sidewall. Now he's just going to aerial it past a defender. Big Guff gets a nice touch instead. Vex, 0 boost remaining, bounces it off the top corner. And it seems as though that Hypernova, they got back on the right foot, but they just can't put it in the back of the net yet, Flip. Nope.
Oh my goodness, say something again! Vex has an answer. What a shot here from Vex, who has been playing this whole game, has been Vex masterclass so far, Gallium. And that goal right there is just the cherry on top.
I mean, I am not seeing an AI watermark. I think that might have actually been a real shot. That is ridiculous. I mean, especially considering that on my end, I didn't even see him coming in. He just flew in, and I mean, that was an insane shot. But, you know, I guess we should expect that from Vex at this point. But a great pass, obviously, by the Crotera. But Gladiators, they're going to have to respond here if they want to get back into this game 4. Big Guff, maybe with an opportunity here, and he doesn't miss those. What a calculated shot from the Big Guff.
Big Guff in a big game, it knows it's big time to get a goal. That one right there is going to tie up this one, Gallium. And I can't lie, it's going back and forth again. This we might get another overtime, I don't know. But these two teams, like I said, they look warmed up now. They look ready for whatever is going to get thrown at them. So we'll just have to see who comes out on top. I think they're both at their A game right now, Gallium. So these two teams, it's going to be a fun watch for the rest of the series.
100%. And, you know, this just goes to show why people outside of Nemesis have troubles, especially in the playoffs, trying to come into this league and play and perform the way they want to, because there's a lot of stream games happening. A lot of the players in the playoffs have experience on stream, especially dating back multiple seasons. So the resilience has to be there, and it's hard to be resilient on stream, but I feel like they have that in their toolbox. Both teams do. Hypernova and Gladiators just going back and forth. This is a heavyweight bout. Virgil gets a nice touch, but gonna get 50'd out there. Big Guff had a big goal earlier. He's trying to get another touch, but Crotera, a nice 50 on his end. Virgil gets the ball into the Hypernova end. Vex doesn't have the best touch, and Virgil is just gonna send it right back down. Crotera pops it down. Virgil off the backboard. It's not gonna go. Brindy now taking his time, taking control, flicks it over to his left. Can he find the shot to his right? He's not gonna be able to. Is it Chad? Great defensive play from him and Crotera. Crotera off the ceiling. Virgil's gonna intercept that one. The Gladiators have a plethora of boost in their tanks. Brindy doesn't have the shot opportunity, elects to hit it anyway. Virgil can't find the double, and this might be a break for this Hypernova team. Vex the other way. He doesn't have boost. Big Guff doesn't know that though, and he still makes the play accordingly. Virgil now gonna go up for it. Is it Chad? A beautiful touch from him as well. Brindy, he sends it to the side while Big Guff is gonna be able to collect this one now. He's gonna send it the other way. Crotera popping it high. It's off the ceiling. Virgil can't make the play, but that would have been a dagger for this Gladiator team. Can they find it here? Big! Oh my goodness! That is a ridiculous save from Vex, but it's still in there, and Virgil can't find the touch. Big Guff down the other way. Big Guff trying to find a goal here. He's gonna try to flip into this one. He doesn't have his flip. At the end of the day, Brindy gets it in front of it, and Virgil, he puts it away finally for this Gladiators team.
This Vex guy has been zero boost so much on defense. Finally, Gladiators are able to get past him. And then the net is open as Virgil puts that one away. 11 seconds remaining here, Gallium. Hypernova have to find this one.
I mean, this is a must score for them. Is it Chad? Sends it over to the side. Virgil does a great job time wasting here. Vex over to Crotera. This one's just gonna fall. And Hypernova, they won the first two. The Gladiators said, nah, we're not gonna let that happen again, as they win the next two. And now it's a 2-2 series here. I don't know if you can do basic math here, Flip. I mean, I know I just blew your mind with that one, but we're in game 5 territory, and you know, I love me a little bit of some game 5 action. And you know what, game 5 in the playoffs, that is Forbidden Temple, correct? Or is game 6 Forbidden Temple?
That's game 6, but
game 6. Okay.
your hands, I'll forgive you.
Well, we're guaranteed to go to a game 6, so Forbidden Temple's still in the cards there. Yep, there we go. That's a fact for all the fans at home. But the Gladiators, they got a great win here, obviously, and I think it really had to come down to their clutch plays, right? I feel like they trust each other, and they're full committing. As you said, you mentioned it at the beginning of, I believe it was game 3. You have to throw the kitchen sink at these guys if you want them to break. And I mean, there was a kitchen sink being thrown. There was like a couple chairs, maybe a table being thrown at the goal. And it was just not, it was no bueno. No bueno. They were playing amazing defense, but you know, they just threw that one little chair into the goal and they finally got it going. So, you know what, Gladiators, they keep having these opportunities. I think they're going to be successful here in this game 5 as we take a trip to probably one of my favorite maps in the game here, Flip.
Yeah, it's a pretty map. You know, favorite. I don't even know what my favorite map is. I can't even stop. But it's gonna be whoever wins this game. It's probably one of their favorite maps, I bet. But this Big Guff guy, I don't think we've talked enough about how big he has been. As he goes for a flip reset right there, would have been disgusting. But Big Guff obviously had the equalizer goal this game, had the double touch last game, or the game before that, and he has just been that dude on offense. Virgil has been stepping up big time. I think Brindy has kind of taken that backseat third man role, and I feel like it's allowed this Gladiators team to have so much offense. But the third man, named Vex on this Hypernova team, Gallium, he has been playing at an MVP level, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. And having these two guys playing third man, as you mentioned, I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. The reason I prefer playing third man is you have a full tank of boost. Sometimes the ball just rolls back to you and you're like, oh, a free ball to myself. I can just do whatever I want with it. And Vex and Brindy are the two most gifted players mechanically on the pitch, in my humble opinion. I mean, they are up there in MMR, so I guess that does track. But, I mean, these guys are playing out of their minds, but their teammates are also playing out of their minds. This is one of the rare series I've seen where there has not been a bad player on this pitch. All these guys are battling tooth and nail to try to get this Game 5 victory and win this series to go to the Grand Finals to face Origin. It's falling down. Vex, a great save. Brindy the Blade's going to chase that one into his corner. Brindy tries to get it into the Hypernova ends, but is going to be blocked away. Guth, a beautiful double from him. He's just absolutely a monster with these doubles, but that's a bad challenge, or a bad 50 from Big Guth, and Crotera is going to swoop in and get that goal any day of the week.
Yeah, Brindy thought he had just one more little touch. One more little touch, gets around Crotera. Brindy's there for a follow-up, but sometimes, Gallium, trust hurts the most because whenever it's broken, man, it's just so hard to repair. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm really sad now. Those guys, they were hard trusting Big Guth with that touch, and Crotera shut them down. Crotera trying to find another one there, and this Gladiators team, they got a little too aggressive, specifically the third man. You gotta be careful, and Brindy's been doing such a good job of being careful as that third. Guth gonna have an open net there, not gonna find the target. It wasn't exactly open, but this Gladiators team now, they're gonna continue to put on the pressure just like they were, and I think whenever you're playing on a really aggressive style like that, Gallium, you just gotta accept you're gonna get scored on. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, you're not perfect, so you just gotta throw that one away and go get 2 goals instead of just getting 1 this time. So we'll have to see if Gladiators are able to do that, or if this Hypernova team will continue piling it on, or if they'll keep surviving with this 1-goal lead.
I mean, in terms of trusting your teammates as third man, it is the most important position, especially defensively, as you mentioned, right? And there's 2 options you can take when you lose trust of your teammate. You can adjust and say, hey man, it's okay. Those happen. Oh my goodness, Vex almost just peaked. Or you could just start blasting some Juice World, you know, because your trust is broken. But, you know, either one works. This Brindy the Blade's gonna have a touch himself. Full boost in the tank. Vex is going to have a touch. Virgil can't find the double. Is a Chad, can't find the touch, and it's popped high. Vex, nice defensive stand from him. A little over a minute, 40 seconds remaining. Big Guth, he's flying in. Is a Chad. Nice save hit there from him. Brindy off the backboard. Vex is there with the touch, and Crotera is going to get it to the side and alleviate some pressure for his Hypernova squad. Virgil with 1 touch to himself. A nice 50. That is the best 50 I've seen all day. Oh my Big God. Just almost sneaked that one in, but I mean, who else but Vex to save that one at the goal line? Such a poised player at the defensive end, and you know, I feel like I've glazed him too much, so oh my goodness, as Big God, matter of fact, just put it right past him.
Yeah, Big Guth was not having it with that 50. Instead, Brindy gets the pre-flip over for the pass, and then Big Guth says, hey, Vex, you need a little head on your head, Vex. Vex just couldn't get up there in time, just too fast for him. Big Guth stepping up big time in this playoff series. Brindy as well with a beautiful pass there, looking for another one here. Down to Virgil. Virgil looking for the double. That one gonna be bouncing mid once again. Guth with the touch around this Gladiators team. They go down 1 goal. They do not care. They're still sending the house.
Oh yeah, you know, they're sending the entire kitchen sink, as it were, so far to try to get this one. And you know what? It's working here as 40 seconds remaining in this game 5. It's off the backboard. Brindy's gonna fake it out. Big Guth with the shot, and oh my goodness, that is an insane level of finesse from Big Guth. He looks like an ice skater right now, just perfectly pirouetting over the defense to get this one in the back of the net.
Look, I hate to say it, Big Guth, if you shoot that ball a little worse, it gets saved. If you shoot that ball better, the fact that Izichat backflip helps a lot. If Izichat didn't backflip, Izichat's going flying past that ball. Like, Big Guth had a great fake there. It's just such a heads-up play. Now he gets the pinch on the ground. Big Guth is doing it all for this Gladiators offense so far. And on the other end, Hypernova. They had the lead, Gallium, but with 10 seconds remaining, it is all Gladiators all day. Brindy with the double, not going to come through, and the pass couldn't either. 5 seconds remaining, 1 last attack for Hypernova, maybe. Vex bangs that one downfield, Crotera's up. Virgil with the save. Izichat trying to keep this one alive. 0 seconds. Is it floating in? Oh my goodness. Brindy wasn't gonna let it happen though, and a 3-2 lead now for Gladiators as we head to Forbidden Temple.
I mean, the Gladiators. This has been a close series, but you can't, understate how clutch they have been in especially dire situations, and they've clawed back. They've won 3 games in a row. One more game, and they punch their ticket to the grand final, and I'm sure LeBerry is really loving this right now. But on the other end, Hypernova, it's not like they're just playing bad. They are giving it everything they have. It's just a series of unfortunate events, as we keep mentioning here. Both teams are playing really great. I would like to see Hypernova get a little more shots towards the net. They only had 5 there. And, to the Gladiators, 11 shots that they had. So, in comparison, I would like Hypernova to, get out of their end a little more and start, dominating that midfield as they were doing in the beginning of this game, and rely on Izachat in the midfield to really get the ball into the zone and start pressuring this Gladiators team. I know Hypernova can do it. We'll see if the fate of the Rocket League universe agrees as game numero 6 underway here at the Forbidden Temple. Brindy the Blade gets a nice touch. Big Guth now is going to send it into the corner. Crotera doesn't have boost. He's going to opt to leave that one be, or maybe he just didn't have enough boost to get that. Crotera sends it over to Brindy. Brindy, he has the carry opportunity. Crotera, he has had enough of that nonsense. Virgil leaving the ball for Guth. A little bit of a risky decision, but I kind of like it in hindsight. Virgil sending it to the corner once more. The Gladiators really attacking these corners of Hypernova. It hasn't worked really historically, but maybe one of these times they can get a goal here. Is Brindy on the backboard. Izachat with that shot, and that is pixel perfect from the chat.
Izachat with the shot, Crotera with the pass, and this is the kind of offense Hypernova need. They don't want Vex crossing that half-field line. I don't care how good Vex is a great player. You need Izachat and Crotera doing the offense, because whenever those two actually get cooking on the offensive end, it just works out so well. And then you just have this little safety blanket back here, saving everything. Gets a double past him right there. And this Hypernova team, I think they have a formula for getting goals and getting victories. They just need to go back to it and remember how they won games 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely just finding your past identity as Crow is going to have an open shot. It was a little tricky, but I think he still could have put that one away. Off the backboard once more. A demo coming out. Brindy being eviscerated from the pitch here as Vex sends a touch to the side. Crotera is going to get one himself, and Brindy there on the defensive end gets a nice 50, and Izachat is last back. Virgil going to attempt to beat him, but Izachat on it pretty much the entire way here as Big Guth. He's backing up. He can't find the touch. He's letting Izachat have this with full boost in the tank. Crotera gets almost a touch, but Big Guth's gonna beat out every single Hypernova member, but unfortunately does not have the boost to follow it up here as Virgil off the sidewall. He's gonna miss his touch. This could be big for Hypernova, but Brindy gonna settle it down once more, and it's in the midfield. Vex over to Crotera. Crotera is gonna opt to keep it into the Gladiators' end rather than shoot it on net, and I don't hate that play whatsoever. Vex is beating Brindy by a mile. Vex with the double, and that's a nice 50 for this Hypernova team. Crotera with a touch into the corner, tries to send it to the backboard. Guth instead there to receive it. Vex with a touch. This might be in. No, it's not quite. It's off the crossbar, and Hypernova, they're looking like they're back in peak form here, Flip.
And I think Crotera, being that midfield presence, he has been there like all the time. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. His teammate could be on the ball. He doesn't care. He's going to be there. The Crotera has been everywhere right now, and that's just kind of how this Hypernova team, I think, needs to play. They need someone sitting back, and they need Crotera just kind of being in this Gladiators team's face. Don't let them get anything as he goes for the demo right after that touch. That's the kind of play Crotera needs to make, and this Hypernova team plays best whenever that is what's happening. As once again, it feels like Hypernova, they have this lead. They had it last game as well. They lost it though, and whenever Gladiators are turning on the offense, that's whenever I need to see Hypernova step up.
Yeah, you have to see Hypernova just continue this pressure. You don't want to concede a goal to Gladiators. The floodgates might open here as Vex bumps out his teammate. Guth can't put that one away. A tricky angle. Can't quite find it. Virgil gets a touch. Gets it over one. Now Izachat sending it high. It's in the corner. Brittany the Blade sending it into the corner himself. He tries to get a touch up high, and now can any one of his teammates reach it? Guff tries his best. There's a little under a minute, 30 seconds to work with Gladiators. They need a goal to be able to tie this game up and send this one potentially into a very stressful overtime. Here is Big Guff. Sends it over. Crotera with the shot. He accidentally gets a second touch. That would have been nasty if it was on target. Virgil over to Izachat, who gets bumped. Now Crotera is up for him. Crotera misses his touch, but Izachat there for the 50. He's going to take their boost, and now Big Guff can't find it. Vex almost with a perfect shot. And the fact that these shots have to be perfect for them to go in really says a lot about, you know, both of these defenses actually, as Big Guff sends it to the side. He doesn't have any boost to work with, allows his teammate Virgil to come make a play. Vex, he sends it down. Brittany the Blade is just gonna leave the ball, try to go for a non-existent boost apparently. Vex had the same idea. Virgil down the pitch. It's in the corner. Izachat is gonna send it back into the midfield. Brittany the Blade doesn't have any boost remaining. Big Guff now can't find the touch. Crotera over to Vex. Vex with the shot, and again, a perfect shot ices this game number 6.
That one right there might just do it here, sending us to a game 7. The touch from Crotera he is, like I said, if the ball is past that half-field line, he's gonna be there, Gallium, and he makes a great pass there. A lot of the times, those midfield players, they don't get appreciated, all right, like they should. And Crotera, who he doesn't need to put up the flashiest stats, he just needs to be around the ball, making a play happen. Izachat needs to hit that double. That's the one I was talking about. He didn't hit it that time though, so it looks like we gotta see it in game 7 because that's where we're headed now.
I mean, you never know. There's 5 seconds right here, and he has the ball. A little bit of okay, you know, never mind. I guess there goes hoping. You know what I'm saying? As Hypernova gets this one to the ground, and we are going to the coveted game 7. The first game 7, I believe, of the day, and maybe of the entire round of this playoffs. I'm not quite certain on that, but no, never mind. I was wrong. But, you know, one of the only game 7s. There we go. That's much better. But, you know, we have maybe you know, you have more experience than I do.
Yeah, I was in one of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. But Gladiators, the shocking stat for them, 0 shots across the board. Oof. Not a single shot on Hypernova's net, and Hypernova had 7. So they clearly understand what they need to do to really get into the Hypernova's heads. They need to start ripping shots. They need to start being confident on the ball and shooting like Hypernova was shooting that game. I mean, all these goals this series have been absolute peak. And it's perfect shots every single time to get past the defense. And you're going to have to give it your very best for 5 minutes here to decide who gets a chance to play in the grand finals. Will it be the Gladiators searching for a long-lost grand finals berth, or will it be Hypernova and the Space Jam organization getting this one to bring it home for Critter? Brindy can't find the touch. Izachat off the backboard. Izachat maybe with a bump. He's not going to be able to get there. Brindy the Blade, though. He's going to try to find a touch. A beautiful play around one. Crotera doesn't have any boost to go get him. Brindy gets it across. Crotera and Izachat having to make that save there. Vex, he doesn't have boost. Big Guff off the backboard. Crotera with a great save and a great clear. All in the same sentence there. Crotera off of the backboard. Off the backboard once more. Virgil up with the save over to Brindy. Brindy beats out Izachat, and now he's racing towards the other end of the field. Brindy off the corner. Big Guff, he's there. He can't find the touch into the back of the net. Izachat now going into the midfield. Virgil is going to stop him in his tracks and steal the boost. Virgil, a beautiful second touch, but he can't make the pass there. Big Guff off the ceiling. He can't really get the optimal pass, but it still gets out to his teammate. Virgil with a perfect shot, but Vex an even more perfect save there. Guff into the midfield, no teammate there to really, you know, get to that one. And Gladiators, they have 100% more shots in this game than they did last game. So congratulations, Gladiators. This definitely will be something that will help them later on in the series, I feel like, Flip.
Later on in the series, Gallium, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
We're at... Oh, okay, yeah, I get what you're starting up now. Never mind. But this Gladiator team does look like they have found more offense, and looks like they might have a goal right here. Big gun shot just off. Virgil gonna get saved away by Crotera, and Crotera has been stepping up on defense, but you can't forget about that man Vex either. but this Hypernova team has not been able to find a consistent offense like I feel like this Gladiators team has. And once again, this Gladiators team back on the offense, just slamming the backboard over and over and over again. But right now, I feel like Hypernova has that one answered pretty well so far, Gallium.
As Crotera attempts to get the trifecta in terms of 50s, but oh my goodness, there's a chance. Oh, they missed an even bigger miss from Virgil. Oh my goodness, Calamity in the net, and it's still 0-0 here. Guts, he can't find the shot. Crotera off of the firewall effect, sending it down. Izachat unable to find the touch. He's gonna wait for this one, Brindy, with one. Can he find a double? Almost did. Crotera, great defensive play. Virgil, he more than made up for it there. Top right, Cheddar.
That one, he needed it. Vex got pumped. Vex would have had the save, but Virgil, oh my goodness, Virgil, you needed that one, brother. That one is huge for the mental. I fell out of my chair, Gallium. Like, I cannot believe what I just saw, and it might not matter. But if Hypernova somehow come back, I promise you, Virgil's gonna be dreaming about that one. But so far, Gladiators still have the lead, and they gotta just hold on for 2 minutes, and they're in the grand final.
I mean, but you can't count out this Hypernova team. They have shown that they are resilient, but Brindy the Blade doesn't care. He doesn't care about all the fancy graphics and the series score. He's just gonna do what he was born to do. Pick up a controller and play Rocket League in Game 7s and be that guy. And Brindy the Blade gives them a 2-goal lead here in Game 7 as we are approaching 2 minutes. Hypernova is down 2-0 with 2 minutes remaining. Flip, I mean, listen, I know it's hard to predict these kinds of things, but do you think they can make it happen?
Look, I know somebody in this call predicted it perfectly, the game and what the score is going to be, because I don't see the Hypernova team coming back because, I mean, have you been watching the gameplay so far, Gallium? This Game 7 has been all Gladiators all day. Yesterday, tomorrow, it's been them every step of the way. And I think there's one way through, and that's demoing the entire team. And I just don't, I don't think Crotera can do it. He's going to try, I promise. But the minute and a half remaining, they've got to make the plays happen. And I think Gladiators, they're starting to give up a little bit of space here. And this might be the shot. Not going to go through, not going to have the shooter there. But if Gladiators start pulling off the gas a little bit like they are, I think Hypernova will have a shot.
I mean, you might. Oh my goodness, Brindy. Oh, that could have been dangerous. Virgil gonna miss his touch as well. This is calamity going on for the Gladiators and Hypernova all at the same time. Hypernova, they need to get a goal here. Vex goes up for it. It's on target, maybe not. It was off the crossbar just barely. They're gonna have to send everything they have. No more defense. Defense does not exist. At least that's what my ranked teammates think. Brindy the Blade off into the backboard. Brindy the Blade with another touch potentially on Crotera. Crotera sends it down. Big Gup is going to be there for the 50. Crotera down to Izachat. No boost remaining in his tank. I don't know if Brindy knows that though. Now he grabbed a full boost. Crotera down into the other side of the pitch. Vex, a beautiful touch himself. It's up. This ball is awkward for the Gladiators, but perfect for Hypernova. Crotera sends it down. Izachat off the backboard himself. Vex sends it down into the corner. And now, Big Gup just trying to waste as much time as humanly possible here. Izachat sends it into the right side of the field. Him and Vex not going to be able to make contact here. This might have been it. This might have been all Hypernova had in the tank. Gladiators, they battle back. They stay true to their name. And they battle through adversity constantly to find ways to win, and they have done it to a T in Game 7 fashion to advance to the grand finals and play an Origin team who, quite frankly, looks very scary.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle. I do think that these are two of the best teams in Gladiators and Hypernova. I think these two are the best teams in Prospect, so obviously they deserve their spot in the semis. And one of those teams gets the pleasure of playing Rockerman in the finals. So
it's not Rockerman. It's Rockerman's org, but it's not Rockerman playing.
Well, you know, might as well be. I don't know.
Same thing.
Might as well be. They're playing against the director. Like something's gonna happen here, and I can't tell you what. But I will say though, Gallium, that series was fantastic. I think the biggest difference was the the resilience, like you said, like the Gladiators team actually battled. They battled through a 2-game deficit into coming back basically like a 4-1 after that in a pretty dominant fashion. Almost like it felt like the Gladiators turned on the offense. You know, they had a long break. It felt like they turned on the offense. They got comfortable with each other, and it was just series after that. It was just another day in the office for them. This Hypernova squad, they came together late in the season, and they made a solid run. But in the end, Gallium, it was this Gladiators team coming out on top.
I mean, what a series that was. And if I'm going to be quite candid with you, that's probably one of my favorite playoff series I've casted in quite some time, maybe even ever, mind you. That one was so intense, so exciting, had everything you wanted. But that's not the end of the action tonight, as we have one more game going at 11 o'clock. You know, if any of you night owls out there, be prepared because we have some action coming your way. Thank you again, Flip, for casting in the booth with me. You get to cast this next one. Yay, congrats.
I know, I'm so excited, and it's going to be a rival league too, so I get to see who I get to play in the grand final. So we got to tune into that one. And yeah, with that, I mean, I think we're out. I think we're headed out of here.
Yep. All right. Peace out, guys. Enjoy that 11 o'clock game. See you guys later.
Deuces.
Anything to make me feel alive. A promise in the morning I'll quit. I just wanna know if I survive. Think I need a dopamine hit. Anything to get me through the night. A promise in the morning I'll quit. Anything to get me through the I think I need a dopamine hit. Anything to make me feel alive. A promise in the morning I'll quit. I just wanna know if I survive. Ooh, at night I can feel it in my soul and my conscience. Ooh, are you busy? If I wanna lose my mind, are you with me, with me? Think I need a dopamine hit. Anything to get me through the night. A promise in the morning I'll quit. Anything to get me, 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 with me. I think I need a dopamine hit. Anything to make me feel alive. A promise in the morning I'll quit. I just wanna know if I survive. 0 seconds remaining. He's gonna be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. KO. He's got the. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna put it in. Back to back.
Backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this kid. Oh my lord!
With the shot, it's gonna go in.
Comes through Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Hey guys, we've looked at everyone here back. Welcome back to Nemesis game final match of the semifinals. Ventus is joining me in the booth, and I'm excited. I'm also getting really bad latency variation, but I guess anyway, we got our final match of the semifinals here: Grave Lords versus Whiteout Ventus. We've got a rival league, man. I'm excited. I'm ready. And I don't know, man. We need to get this over with because I think you know what's gonna happen. I think I know what's gonna happen here.
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen yet. I mean, we've both seen the script, so maybe for us casters, we know what's gonna happen. But for the populace, you know, it could be anything could happen. Whiteout, they had some moments of dominance in their series against Ragtag in the bunch against can't even remember their name. I don't know why, but it's Ragtag, Hoop Cub, and Winter. They played pretty well. I think Whiteout had flashes where they were like super dominant, and other flashes where they were not super dominant. And I think it's all gonna be up to whether all three of these players can come together. And man, let me tell you, Gravelords, they're the team to beat. Unfortunately, they're the #1 seed. They're the undefeated team. And it's going to take a lot for them to come out on top.
Fun fact for you guys, Gravelords looking to be the first team to go 21-0 in Nemesis Gaming League history. We've had undefeated teams win it all before, but none of them had to play this many games. As Game Buster looking for the first one, the wave dash was good. Mayo gonna play some defense here, but a little bit of help from Whiteout are gonna put this first goal in the back of the net.
Yeah, unfortunately, just early pressure. Mayo not going to be able to get the turn in time, and the light shot from Silver kind of worked out, kind of threw them off target, and unfortunately the double commit, Evan kind of own goaling that one, putting in the back of the net. Not a great start, but this might turn around as Evan is going to look for the shot. The double commit comes through, but the save is able to be nice and easy into the corner for the Gravelords, and they get out, and this actually turns into a counterattack. NK having to jump, Mayo having to jump, double commit comes out, open net, but Evan is not going to be able to find the touch, and Game Buster is going to be able to find the back of the net on that one. Unfortunate for Evan there, he was not able to read that one off the backboard. Another unfortunate turn of events, and Gravelords early capitalization, early pressure, and even when Whiteout had a chance on the kickoff, it seems like Gravelords were just able to turn that to a counterattack for themselves, playing good boost management, getting good midfield presence early on.
Yeah, and already Gravelords with the 2-0 lead. I have to apologize. Wisps also went 21-0. They're a novice team, so it doesn't really count. It's also Jarhead Zork, so nobody really counts that one either. But we got to see if this Whiteout team can make their first Grand Finals appearance here, or will another Jarhead Zork try to go 21-0. Again, might be a fake stat, couldn't tell you. Afterburner looking for a pop-up. Silver with 0 boost, gotta go off the ceiling here. Evan, go for the flip reset, but Silver with 0 boost still dunks him. And I think that's the biggest thing about this Gravelords team. They are just so aggressive. Afterburner though, last man back. Evan just gonna put it on target! And the crossbar rings so loud after that one. And I think the hopes of Whiteout just got shot into the crossbar right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a very fun time, especially when you had such a great attack, such a great turn of events with Afterburner making such a misplay. And it's something you don't really see very often is him making mistakes. So when it does come out, you really want to be able to capitalize. And unfortunately, Whiteout not going to be able to. But Whiteout has had some pressure. They've had more shots. They've had more chances. And Mayo might going to... They're going to leave it for NK, though. And that is going to find the back of the net. Evan beating out Afterburner, able to close the gap a little bit. Evan able to make up for that previous missed touch and mistake not leading to a goal. Unfortunately, could have been a 2-2 series or 2-2 game right now. It's gonna be 2-1, but Whiteout looking to stake their claim. They are out shooting 8-3 at this point, and Gravelords really just kind of utilizing those transitions and utilizing the counterattacks and capitalizing on Whiteout's mistakes.
Whiteout so far really doing the bulk of it, and NK is gonna get the clear there. Vintage, let me know if I am robotic because I feel like I am lagging a lot, and I don't know why. But it's so far, it has been a very defensive game here for Gravelords, and I wonder, is that part of their strategy here? Because Whiteout usually, in my opinion, is the defensive team, but Afterburner is gonna get the goal there.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. I think Gravelords probably are playing this playstyle on purpose. They did recently beat Whiteout, I believe, 7 games to 0 in a recent scrim, and so they definitely have Whiteout's number. They know exactly how they play. They know exactly how to counter it. And so I think maybe it's a slightly different playstyle from this team, which is why it seems that they're making more mistakes. But it seems to also be working out really, really well against this Whiteout roster because it's making them overcommit. It's making them extend their rotations and kind of use more resources that they don't have on defense. And a crossbar miss there from Gamebuster is going to make it so they can't capitalize on that one.
Yeah, and once again, this Whiteout team continuing to put up shots, but not really putting up the goals, and it feels like you're not able to score. Well, it almost scored on Afterburner from the pass from Silver, not going to go through, but Gamebuster continuing to apply that pressure, and Whiteout once again just I feel like they're almost helpless sometimes, but Mayo in the air not helpless as Afterburner gets a nice 50 there. That one is going to be cleared by Evan, and the shot was there. Silver was able to make the save, and now off the backboard here, Silver looking for the clear out. Gamebuster going to leave that one as Evan just has to pop that one up high. Afterburner going to get the beat on him. Gamebuster in the corner, going to look for the double, going to try to get a follow-up as well. Gets a nice dunk. The follow-up from his teammate going to be there. Afterburner looking for the drop down to Silver. This, all 3 committed, but Mayo can't get the clear, and Afterburner grabs the boost as well. Gamebuster had 100 and able to get that touch, able to get the follow-up. Evan, who was floating, able to get that save. 3-1 lead here for Whiteouts, and most importantly, for Gravelords, and most importantly, they've done it while still, like, not looking perfect. Like, I feel like this Gravelords team, they can still improve throughout the series. This Whiteout team, they've got to find a way through. They've got to see some more signs of life here as Nuki able to get the 50. Evan trying to find the pass, and the offense, like I said, it feels like there's one shot, and then there's a save, and then the offense is done for Whiteout, and I feel like they got to get some more sustained offense here. It's just, in this game 1, you're just going to you're looking for some answer, some hole in this Gravelords team that you can expose for me, so whenever I play in the grand finals, that I can beat them. But Afterburner, looking for the touch, looking for the follow, 30 seconds remaining. Whiteout kind of sitting back too much, and that's kind of their game plan. But against a defensive team like Gravelords, it's just so hard to counterattack against the Ventus, and with 20 seconds left, this game's all but over. The Whiteout, they just don't have any offense, sustained offense, to really put up the pressure and get these 2 goals back. So the Gravelords, I think they had a good game plan going in, good passes, good shots. That one's going to ring off the crossbar, but still, you see this Gravelords game plan really kicking in here, and these guys, they're just dominating this Whiteout team.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see a lot of the times all 3 players of Whiteout really low boost, having to just full dive commit with basically 1 or 2 pads on this Gravelord squad. They're able to just tap it around, continue their assault, continue their pressure, and even though they were able to score most of their goals on counterattacks, Whiteout, they weren't able to do much with that long sustained pressure that they had in the first half. It all went awry in the second one, the second half of game 1, where they were just forced to take pop shots on net and then rotate back because of all the boost that was being stolen from them and all of the bumps and demos that were being on the back line. So Gravelords just started to ramp it up towards the end, kind of put them back on the back foot. And even when Whiteout had those chances, they weren't able to convert. You had that empty net miss from Evan, and really just got to convert more on your chances if you're Whiteout.
Yeah, and whenever my team played Bearcats in the semifinals, it was always we outshot them, we had more pressure, we did not finish the ball, and that's what allowed Bearcats to win 3 games, it felt like, and that's what kept them in the series. This Whiteout team, you're the underdog. If you're not hitting your shots, oh goodness gracious, this might be a quick series. You have to be on your A game, and against an undefeated team, you got to be on your A game. As the demo came out, a good touch there from Evan, but Game Buster was on top of that one. Mayo able to get back. NK able to get back to it as Mayo gets the clear downfield. Trying to read that one off the corner, gets the pass across mid, but Game Buster and Net is going to have that one cleared all the way out. 0 boost, he doesn't care, he's still going to go. Gets a nice 50. Silver looking for a catch. Evan doesn't get the touch. Silver with the pop. Mayo in the corner able to get the clear, but that clear only as far as Game Buster hitting that one back to his own corner. A little bit awkward touch. Nuki not able to get the follow, but oh my goodness, what a touch there from Nuki. Or I think that was Evan. I really couldn't see. They came flying past the screen there and almost resulted in a goal. And crazy touches like that might just be what you need to get past this Gravelords defense here. Afterburner not able to make that read. And Silver playing just far back enough to get that one and trying to find a follow-up, looking for the double off the ground, not going to follow it, but Mayo still continuing to put this pressure on. No touch there, and now the counterattack begins for Gravelords, and I feel like this is going to be the tale for these two teams. It's going to be some offense into a counterattack, into maybe someone scoring. That's just how these two teams like to play, Ventus, and I think Gravelords, they do it to a little bit better extent, especially on the offensive end, but this Whiteout team, if you're playing their style, they can really ramp it up and start playing that way too, and they can be really good. But so far, 0-0 here. No crazy goals as Evan got that sidewall read. No crazy attempts, I should say, so far, Ventus. And I feel like these two teams, they have the exact same play style, so it's going to be hard for either one of them to crack.
Yeah, and you just see they're not doing anything fancy. They're just trying to beat players out to the ball. Great clear there, but not going to be enough as this one's still in the half of Whiteout. It seems like Whiteout struggling a bit more to deal with the pressure that this Gravelords roster is able to create. And when they do have those counterattacks, like you said, they just have not been able to convert on them. And I think that Whiteout, they just need to keep playing their game. I think that their chances will come. I think that they need to keep making some good touches on the ball. Their rotations have not looked bad. They've settled in a lot since game 1 where they made a couple big errors, and I think that it's going to be a game of capitalization. Whether or not you can capitalize on the mistakes, whether or not you can get a couple demos to free up some space as well, and whether or not you can starve your opponents out and kind of hold pressure. This is an awkward ball. This is a miss from 2 players on the Gravelords, and Whiteout biding their time, waiting for the mistake, finds it and capitalizes.
Yeah, and Mayo that's the kind of play you have to make. Your second man, there's somebody behind you. You have to go for that ball. A lot of players will be like, oh, I thought they were going to hit it. Don't care. Go for the ball. They suck. Get in their face. Don't make a mistake. You just got to be there to capitalize. Evan now looking to capitalize on that one, but the 50 was huge from Silver. And Game Buster, that's the thing about this team. They trust so much. Game Buster was ready to follow that one up immediately. Able to get a touch mid here. Nuki able to get one, but Afterburner in the air is able to follow that one up, and a pop from Silver towards the backboard, but Evan gonna be there for the clear and gonna get some help from After as well. Evan looking for the 50. Nuki really awkward here. Mayo driving in as well. 30 boost. Looking for the pop. That shot getting saved away by Silver, but not the best save in the world. Nuki not gonna have time to get to that one. Evan though, barely not able to get the touch as Silver was able to clear that one away. Now Mayo in the corner, off the pass from Nuki. Mayo with one touch, looking for the flip reset here, not going to have the boost for it, so it's going to be Nuki taking control in the midfield. And that one towards the backboard where Afterburner is waiting. Afterburner looking for the double, but Evans going to send that one mid. Silver on the backboard after Game Buster just got demoed. Silver looking for some solo play. That's the kind of play that Gravelords are just so good at. They're good at buying time for their teammates, let them respawn, get some boost, and try to keep this ball out of their own net. Nuki not gonna let that happen easily though, but the shot not gonna be there. Nuki's 0 boost still being a nuisance, and that's what we saw in that series versus Arrival. Nuki's just downfield being a nuisance, being annoying, and on the defensive end you have Evan and Mayo just trying to lock it down. So far, it's working for Whiteout. There's still a minute remaining though in this Gravelords team. They're not gonna go down, lose a game without a fight.
Whiteout has had really good presence in the midfield. They haven't been really needing boost. They've been pretty topped off. They've been holding the line so that the Gravelords have not been able to really get shots on target. That was their first shot of the entire game, and it came in the last 40 seconds of the match. And this is a mistouch there from Silver, an open net from NK. I thought that one was off, but NK is going to be able to put that one home. Whiteout 2-0 lead, and it seems like Gravelords just a couple mistouches here and there, and not playing as cleanly as I normally see them doing, and Whiteout just able to take some free chances, some free goals, and Gravelords seem to be kind of panicked in this game, losing this one. They hadn't been able to generate any offense past the midfield line, and I think it got the best of them. I think they started to overcommit, they started to double commit, and they started to get a lot more missed touches or not as high quality touches because they're trying to speed up to get those beats. And Whiteout just patiently waiting. They held on long enough, they got the opening, and unfortunately it was on the mistouch of Silver there. But Gravelords look like they're going to be losing this game number 2 and going 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, and obviously a huge win here for Whiteout. Gravelords have this problem sometimes where they just pass you the ball. Like it's not like a player just, like, it's blatantly like a touch over their own teammate into a pass to you, where it happens one game. Like, it happened whenever we played them one game, whenever Hydra played them, it happened one game. In the regular season, I should say, whenever Distortion played them in the first round, Distortion blew them out one game. It happens. Like, I don't know why, but Gravelords, I feel like they're always due one little hiccup. They just got their hiccup out of the way. Now, this is not to discredit what Whiteout just did, because I think they played a very solid game, but it wasn't perfect by any means. They didn't create a whole lot of their own opportunities, so you would like to see that more, but we'll see if this Gravelords team, maybe they're in a slump. People have bad days on Rocket League, but this Gravelords team, man, they're going to be tough to consistently beat, and Whiteout still got to do it 3 more times.
Yeah, but Whiteout, luckily having Mayo, I was talking with a couple people yesterday, a couple days ago, that they were saying that Mayo wasn't going to be able to make the game against Gravelords, and I was very much down and out. I expected Whiteout to not be able to turn anything into an upset without Mayo, and Whiteout, they do have their player. They got all 3 starters rostered. They got all the potential to upset here. And I say this, I talked to Flip a little bit about this. You know what I'm about to say is this Gravelords team is beatable. They don't do anything super special. They just play fast. They trust each other, and they usually play very consistently, and that is all they have needed, is a great play there from Gamebuster, able to get the beat and the bump on that last man, and Gravelords able to take the lead. They're not doing like double flip resets where they're beating out all 3 players at once, but they're just playing really consistent Rocket League, and when they are doing that, it's really hard to beat them, but it is possible. I know time and time again where a solid team can be beaten out by flashes of greatness, and I think that needs to come from Whiteout. I think that they have a similar playstyle, but I think they need to be just a little bit better, and I think they have the ability to do that, because I know Nuki, especially in Game 7, he played phenomenally, shutting down Kisby and being an absolute nuisance, and I know that Mayo had great games, and as I'm trying to gas this Whiteout roster up, they completely blew it for me.
Yeah, and it's a good touch by Gamebuster, but I feel like the back wall has kind of been a weakness here for the Whiteout. The first goal, Evan was on the back wall and jumped really early, allowing him to not get the ball. If he just stayed on the back wall, I feel like he would have had the boost to go get the ball and get the clear. And on that one, you see Nuki just drive up the back wall and your front post, and you're driving up the back wall. Like, that's just that's what I would see Flashy do, and that's just not what you want to see on the defensive end there, as Nuki's now going to hit that one to the side, and Whiteout, they have a 2-goal disadvantage. They're going to need to put some pressure on here, and it's been all Grave Lords this game, as Afterburner are going to look to continue it. Gets the boost spawn that he definitely timed. That one now going to drop down, but Evan looking for the pass mid. Mayo a little bit in front of that ball, so has to play the 50, and Silver's going to be there to follow it up every time. Gamebuster been playing those 50s so well, but that's just what this Grave Lords team does. They play the 50s really well. They play for each other really well, as Gamebuster once again going for the flip reset into the bump. Mayo able to get the save, and Silver taking this one all the way back. Knows he has some time. Knows he has some time to kill, as well as 3 minutes are left on the clock. Gamebuster going in the air once again, able to get the beat on one. NK gonna get a nice controlled touch, and that's what you like to see, but the follow-up just not there. Silver gonna put that one in the back of the net, apparently, because it's a bad challenge here from Nuki, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, NK looking to get it a little bit closer to his car. I think it was a little bit too hard for what he wanted. He wanted the full kill into the corner to keep it on the wall. Unfortunately, it pops back out. Silver reads it really well, gets an instant challenge. And NK tries to just cover and make a touch on it to make sure that it's not a free ball into his half, but unfortunately it throws off Mayo, it throws off the rest of his team, and it's going to lead to a goal. And this might be another one, as Nuki has to get back and is able to, but how long will they be able to hold on? This Grave Lords roster has started to ramp it up. They've not really made those missed touches in the midfield that we saw in game number 2 that allowed Whiteout to take the victory. And, you know, this is the Grave Lords that we normally see. Their dominance, they're able to put so much pressure on. They're able to have good follow-ups. They're able to take the ball basically off your car for little to no effort, and they steal the midfield boost. They steal the resources in your corners. They just, you know, whittle you down until you basically can't contest them any longer, and they just concede a goal. And so they've been playing very well in this game number 3, a good bounce back.
Can Whiteout find a way through at all this game? I'm asking for 1. They don't even, 3 would be great, but so far it's just not looking like it. Can they even get a shot on target? Because right now, 0 shots on target registered for them. The offense has been completely in Grave Lord's favor, and will look to continue to do so. Mayo just pops that ball up to Silver, who has just been waiting on the back wall and waiting for Evan to miss that one, but the save does eventually come through. The shot from Gamebuster not on target. Evan now looking for the counter. Goes high. Gamebuster doesn't have the boost. Evan towards the backboard, but Afterburner with a great double touch, and that's why people call him the best player in Rival, because he is just that guy. And Nuki looking for the follow, but guess who's back? It's the Afterburner. Maybe just showing off a little bit here, Ventus. I feel like he is the fastest player whenever he needs to be, and I feel like he times his challenges really well. So it's just so hard to get past him. Whenever you do think you're past him, there he is once again. So with 50 seconds remaining, we just gotta see this Grave Lords team close this one out, go up 2-1, because this Whiteout team once again still 0 shots on net, and the offense that is so lacking. I just don't see them scoring 3 goals. In fact, I think we're going to see 1 more here from the Grave Lords. A great pass from Silver, a great finish from Gamebuster. After getting, I think he went for a bump, and then he got the shot. He's just everywhere.
I mean, this Grave Lords roster, this was their game to lose. I think they would have had to done a lot and make a lot of mistakes to allow Whiteout to get back into this. Whiteout, you talked about how their offense has been very lackluster. It seems like Nuki has kind of taken a step back. Mayo, not as many solo plays. His touches aren't as good as we saw in that Arrival series, and I think that overall it's like Whiteout has taken a step back. They look kind of how they did in games 4, 5, and 6 for their series against Arrival, where they just kind of seemed a little bit lackluster. I feel like these 3 individually can do so much, and I think that they have the ability to do really well, and they at least get 1 for the road here, as Evan's going to get a quick shot off of a good pass from Mayo. But it's really just, this is the only time that they've been able to generate offense. This is the first shot that they have on net this game, and Grave Lords are just completely smothering them and completely shutting them out. Whiteout gonna have to be a lot more aggressive. They're gonna have to trust that Evan is gonna be able to hold the back line, that Mayo is gonna be able to hold the back line in transition. You gotta play more aggressive. You gotta stay cheated up in the midfield. Look for the outlet passes. Look for ways to dissolve the pressure. Look for bumps in the midfield. Look for cuts in the midfield. Just to try to relieve some pressure, because once they start getting, once Gravelord starts getting going and starts boost stealing and starving you in net, it's so hard to break out.
Yeah, and there's one positive point for Whiteout here, and that is you're 100% shooting. And that's all the points I can give them. This was a dominant performance by Gravelords. They won, it feels like, every challenge in the midfield. One resulted in an own goal. Like, that's how hard they won the challenge. And like you said, they're stealing all the boost. They're being annoying. I hate watching them play. It's all of the above, actually. This Gravelords team is just that good sometimes. And whenever they're on and they're clicking like that, Ventus, they're hard to beat. But they're not on all the time. We saw them falter. We've seen them falter. And I think here in Game 4, we can see them falter again. But like you said, you got to trust your last man. You can't just be clearing the ball away to no one downfield, not even getting a demo downfield. But Nuki's NK, whatever you want to call him, he's been the one downfield waiting for these passes, and it just hasn't been clicking so far. We'll see if they can fix it here in Game 4, as here Nuki gonna beat out 2, but Silver gonna be the only one with boost, and trying to get a pass on this one, but nobody gonna fall that one up. If Gamebuster has a free touch off the backboard, everyone's gonna have the shot. Gamebuster has to put that one away. Whiteout. Hello, Whiteout. Are we there? Can we go for the ball, please?
Just looks like NK not going to be able to find the read. You see them just kind of all waiting. You constantly need somebody to challenge, somebody to force, and you want that to be... I mean, you have 2 members with boost, so you could have it be the members with boost, but I prefer to have your player with little boost go and force a challenge so that they can rotate across, get some pads, be able to cut back in the midfield, and be able to go like that. As you see another pass, another shot attempt coming out, but this time there is the challenge. NK was there, and he does get the bump, and a mistouch there from Afterburner, going to allow some pressure to be dissolved from the Whiteout half. And I mean, they just have not been able to break through. It seems like they're constantly getting outsped, they're getting beat out a lot, and even when we don't find passing plays connect like that one there from Silver to Buster to Silver, you just see the pressure still adding on. You see players with very low boost, you see players having to pre-jump, and you see players like Afterburner on the back wall, absolute beauty, able to put that one home off the redirect.
Yeah, and this is what Gamebuster does best. He feeds it to Afterburner. Yeah, that's about the story of his career. I can't say anything else. Gamebuster gonna dime up Afterburner on the back wall there. Gravelords doing what they want for, for free, it feels like. The punishment coming out from Whiteout, just, there's no real threat sometimes. And Afterburner gonna look for a follow there. It's gonna be Silver hitting that one towards the backward. Afterburner couldn't get the bump. Instead, he's gonna take the boost once again and go for an air dribble play here. Going towards the midfield, gonna look for a follow-up bump, but Gamebuster can't shoot that one. Now it's gonna be Evan getting that ball cleared. Afterburner once again going in the air, and Whiteout just doesn't have the boost, doesn't have the follow, doesn't have the challenge. Mayo, the goal line save comes through, and Evan now with a nice pop. Gonna look for the follow-up, but no touch there. He gets the dunk though. Silver thought he had the save, but Evan is gonna be literally on top of that one.
Just a great dunk. Silver trying to just play it around him, maybe not expecting him to have any more boost to float, but it kind of puts it right into his car. Nuki going for bumps and demos as well, and Silver, this is what happens to the Gravelords though. If your last man back makes a mistake, both players are all the way upfield playing the optimistic touch, and when it comes through, it's very disastrous, and Silver kind of the perpetrator behind that one. But I mean, unfortunately, Gravelords don't make that mistake very often, and that is another mistake. Gamebuster not able to read the touch, but he's able to get the beat and read after. Nuki's not able to get that one, and it's just unfortunately Whiteout seem to be outsped a lot. They seem to be panicking a lot. They seem to be lacking boost a lot, and this Gravelords roster just continues to lay on the pressure.
Gravelords just gonna benefit from, what did I just see? That's just not the touch Mayo ever gets. Like, that's not pressure, Vintage. This is the choke from Mayo, and that right there is just the first sign of it. And Evan gonna lead that one for Mayo. Mayo can get it right back. Could be a good save from Silver. That one off the backboard, and Silver's gonna be there once again. That it's just that touch from Mayo. I'm still baffled because it looks like a counterattack. Nuki gonna put that one away. This Gravelords team, they're not having their best game. I just think Whiteout's having their worst. Some of them.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, you can't be on your game all the time, right, Flip?
Right.
You went to Game 7 with Ragtag and friends, so there are times, you know, there are games where you guys are not on. I remember very well you had a very big miss as third man that led to a goal, so, you know, maybe I'm just poking fun at you because I think it's funny. But this Gravelords team, you're right. They're not having their best game here. I mean, we saw plenty of mistouches coming out from them, but Whiteout, they're not able to capitalize. They're honestly getting worse touches. They seem to be slowing down. They seem to be panicking even more somehow. And even though they have come back into this game, we just continue to see that they're trying to play too fast for themselves. They're constantly trying to commit with zero. They're constantly trying to throw themselves at the ball in bad situations and bad challenges, and they're not there for each other. So when the passes or fakes do come through, the follow-up isn't there enough to beat out this Gravelords roster. And, I mean, a great set of plays there, but unfortunately, Gravelords have just been able to get back. Whiteout, they had a great chance there. I really liked that they were finding each other, and they had good presence, but one save from Gravelords, it all falls apart.
Yes, but Evan, now look over the counterattack. I think it's a reset. I'm just going to go over to Mayo. Once again, though, Gravelords have the answer. I feel like they rotate so quickly back, looking to help each other out here. Silver gonna dive for that one. Mayo gets dunked, but NK gonna get the touch there. And Afterburner gonna try to challenge off the ceiling. Evan hits that one to the sidewall. Looking for the clear, gets the fake on Silver, but gets bumped. Silver almost bumped his teammate, but instead it's gonna be demoed by NK. And he's gonna get the trade as well. Afterburner to the backboard, but that touch is just gonna go towards the sidewall where Evan is waiting. Zero boost, really, but still trying to get a touch upfield where NK hits that one to the backboard. The fake, the shot. It's going to be a slow one, but Mayo can have the follow off the crossbar. It is out. The save coming through from Silver as well. Unfortunate set of events there for Whiteout. Definitely could have been a goal, but Gamebuster with the save into the follow from Silver. And Gravelords are still on top by one, but maybe not for long. Evan, can you put that one away? There it is, the double commit, and Gravelords, they are vulnerable.
Yeah, and I mean, just a misplay there. Double commit coming out from Afterburner and Gamebuster, and it happens. Gravelords have done this previously, and I'm glad that Whiteout was able to capitalize. They do tie up this game. They look faster. They had a lot of chances. They weren't able to find the back of the net, though, as there was always one player stingily keeping the goal occupied, but this isn't occupied. As a bump, getting rid of that player on defense this time. Evan, a great bump at Nuki, a good follow, and Nuki, a good bump, Evan, a good follow, and a good play by Whiteout. They go from down 0-3 to up 4-3 with 23 seconds left. Hopefully this is the win in their sails that they need. Hopefully this is the burst of the push that they need to get through, get this game and tie, or not, is it game 3? Yeah, no, tie back up the series, tie back up the series, yeah.
It's game 4, this one will be 2-2 and put even more pressure on this Gravelords team, where I think they're used to it, but it is still gonna be a close race here. Even if Gravelords are somehow able to come back, but Mayo gonna try to stop that attack immediately here as Gamebuster has to hit that one to this corner, not gonna get it up, and Whiteout's gonna win game number 4 there. Let's see. Whiteout won games 2 and 4. Gravelords won game 3 or 1 and 3. You think the trend continues here, Ventus? I mean, like, what are you thinking here? Because this is another one of those games where Gravelords tripping over themselves a little bit. You're seeing the faults in the defense. While the offense is there, the defense sometimes, the double commits come out, and you can see that really punish them.
Yeah, I think it's more so a testament to Whiteout. I feel like Whiteout has been speeding up. They've been keeping up pace of play-wise with Gravelords, which is very difficult to do. I feel like they're a very fast team. And so with Whiteout being able to keep up, being able to get some crucial beats as well, it's forcing Gravelords to really rethink their trust and really see whether or not they have that full support and that full trust at all times of the series, or is it just when they are up? Is it just when they have a 3-2 goal lead where they have the ability to just concede a goal and still be in the series. And so I think that it really Whiteout had stepped up. I think that they're getting faster throughout this game. I think that hopefully it will be used to propel them to break the cycle. I know that there have been multiple trends where game 1 is won by the games 1, 3, 5, and 7 are all won by the same team, and hopefully Whiteout can break that streak because I want to see the upset. I think that Whiteout has the ability to do it. I think that they are a very comparable team to this Gravelords team, and I mean, unfortunately, when Afterburner is just doubling it in your face, you're not going to be able to do that much, and that's the 185 out of the UR Afterburner maybe shouldn't have been in Rival League.
Yeah, Afterburner, he's that dude sometimes, and that is going to be a huge play there from him. And whenever Gravelords get on top early, it's whenever they can really start applying the pressure. Afterburner feeling a little bit confident now, going for that challenge there as Mayo on the sidewall, going to try to get that ball clear, but Gamebuster was able to avoid the bump, and now it's just Nuki in the backfield. He's got Gamebuster going to hit that one off the ceiling. A touch there from Nuki was really well touched, and Silver is just going to have to give that ball away. Evan, look over the 50. That one's going to go back towards the midfield where Mayo's going to be up for it. Gets the beat on Gamebuster. Nuki in the corner going to try to play the touch, but Afterburner had that one read an hour ago. And Evan now on a 2-on-1. Just kidding. It's a 1-on-0. But guess who's back? Big Mayo. Thought he might not show up for the series, but out of nowhere he shows up in your face and gets that save there. Silver now looking for the pass over to Gamebuster. Huge save there by NK. Afterburner in the air, but the touch is going to get around Mayo. Mayo a little bit too cocky there, but Mayo has to pass this one back to his teammate. Silver had that pre-jumped and a block. Silver now going for off the ceiling. Look for the ceiling shot. It's going to be there, and Silver puts his name on the board, saying it's not just the two-man team. He's here as well.
Yeah, and you just see a double commit coming out from Whiteout, both of them waiting for a long time, then jumping. Not great communication between the two. You want somebody to jump early, somebody to play the shot, and unfortunately, Whiteout gonna concede because of that. Gravelords continue to put on their show of the odd games, right? They have taken games 1, 3. They look to take game 5, and they were very dominant in game number 3. It seems like whenever there is a lull, Whiteout has to do their best to keep up even and take the game under a close one. But whenever Gravelords are back on, whenever they are ahead, whenever they get a lead and start trusting each other, they start to break away. But as I say that, Evan, a good 50, a good beat on that last man of Afterburner, and they put them closer to the tie. Gravelords, I still think they look better than game 4, but maybe so does Whiteout. They've been able to threaten that, and hopefully they can come back.
Yeah, Whiteout looking to come back here. AK gets a nice touch, but it's going to be game fighting Afterburner on sidewall now. Afterburner going up into the air. Mayo gets beat out. Afterburner look for the double down. They're going to have his teammate there, but not there in time. The double there from After was beautiful, but now it's going to be a save coming out from Gamebuster. Nuki not able to get there, but still able to get some control, but Mayo on top of that one. And Evan all the way back, still 0 boost, and Afterburner going to look for the follow. Going towards the sidewall. Evan with a nice dunk there, and able to get a beat on Silver as well. That ball bouncing in the midfield, but it's going to be Gamebuster getting the beat. That one towards the sidewall. Afterburner going up. And Whiteout had a clear attempt there, but instead it's going to be After and Gamebuster once again just on top of that ball. Nuki getting a pop over Silver, but Afterburner's already there. Afterburner with one touch, looking for the follow. The flip reset's going to come through back towards the Whiteout corner. Still 2.5 minutes of play remaining. A lot of Gravelords players committed here, and Evan going to try to take some control, but he gets demoed there by Silver. It's going to open Afterburner onto the sidewall. No boost left for Afterburner. Goes to Evan. Going to get demoed once again. The squad from Gravelords just taken out Evan. Now Gamebuster looking for the 50, but Evan's going to win that one. Nuki up in the air. Silver gets the beat. That one going to be dropping down, and that a little bit awkward for Evan. Still trying to get that touch. Afterburner towards the sidewall. Able to get the double. Looking for one more, and Evan's going to have to be there. Gets a nice touch. Silver has to touch that one towards his own corner. NK now trying to get the follow. Gets the dunk, and that ball bouncing out to Mayo. Mayo just going to rip a shot here. Afterburner awkward on the back wall. Able to make the save still, and Evan going to try to take control. Gets a touch around one. Gets a dunk on Silver. Afterburner with 0 boost, but still going to have plenty of time for this ball. NK a little bit awkward. Just has to put a shot on target, and it's going to be Gamebuster saving that one away. After now with some boost. Able to get the dunk. Looking for one more touch as Evan sends that one up the corner. Game Buster trying to clear that one out to his teammate. That one's going. It's going. Is it in? Mayo gonna make the save, and NK having to get a follow-up touch there, but Game Buster looking to seize this opportunity to continue the Grave Lord's pressure here, extend their lead, looking to pass that one mid. Afterburner gonna grab that boost and turn immediately, hitting that one towards the backboard, looking for the double, has the flip reset. No, he doesn't. Silver gonna have the shot. That one's gonna be off target, and Game Buster gonna not commit for that one. They're up a goal. They have a minute remaining. They cannot concede another one. Oh, but they just might. Silver can't get there. A huge shot from Evan, who is stepping up big here in Game 5.
Yeah. That was such a great play there from Evan, getting the beat on 2, getting the beat on Game Buster, getting the flick over Afterburner, and Silver pushed up very aggressively as that third man, expecting Afterburner to get a touch, just gonna play off of it. And when Gravelords get beat out and their team has so much faith in that they're gonna get the win, and play so optimistically, it creates holes in the rotation, and a great capitalization from Whiteout, a good shot there, but a crazy miss coming out from Evan, but a good recovery, able to get this one back into the Whiteout half, and I mean, NK just having to put this one away, just trying once again to break down the Gravelords, trying to not concede on their own net. And I think that Whiteout, they need to do more with their chances on offense. I've seen a couple times where Mayo or Evan have had a free shot on net. They do shoot it, but they could have had a lot more time. They had a pass option available to them as well, and I feel like if they had taken a slight control touch even, I think that they would be able to make it much more threatening, bait out a couple more players, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, the Gravelords aren't able to take it. Neither team is able to take it. We have overtime in Game 5, a very important deciding swing match.
This one can be huge if you're Whiteout. NK not gonna grab the boost, but Mayo gets the demo onto Afterburner. Now NK, zero boost here, still able to get a flick pass too. Just Game Buster back. He's a little awkward, had to pre-jump to start from Evan. Gonna get saved away by Silver, and now it's gonna be Gravelords trying to look for the counterattack, but all of Whiteout are already back, and NK gonna hit that one, but it's gonna be Silver getting a great boost spawn. Mayo able to get the beat over to Nuki as Afterburner gets a double to his own corner. Really awkward here for Game Buster, doesn't get the touch. Mayo across, it's on target actually, but it's getting saved away by Silver. The backboard was open, but no shot coming through here for Whiteout. Mayo now gonna hit this one off the sidewall, look for the follow-up touch, but Game Buster had that one red, and Afterburner has an open shot. Where is the defense? I don't know, but Afterburner gonna take that one for free.
Unfortunately, Gravelords just take advantage. Whiteout playing so aggressive. They were trying so hard to convert a goal-scoring opportunity. Mayo not the best of touches. A double commit coming out between him and Nuki. The third man so far committed that so far upfield that they have to commit on a ball like that instead of letting his teammate cut and not overcommit. And Whiteout, they do concede their Gravelords an open net to win the game. They put themselves on match series point, however you want to say it. And man, I thought it was going to go Whiteout's way. I thought that they were playing better than Gravelords throughout that game. And unfortunately, Gravelords, the lockdown defense was too much. They were just able to wait out the overcommit from Whiteout. They were able to just get one long clear, and the trust from Afterburner to stay in the midfield, stay upfield when his teammates were back, caused them to be able to score that one. And I mean, it might have been an open net, but it's still the trust that Gravelords has is a double-edged sword, right? It's worked out so well in their favor, but it's also led to some goal-scoring opportunities for Whiteout, so definitely one to watch out for.
Yeah, and now Gravelords need to win this one, because Game 7 is not something you want to see if you are the favored team. Gravelords trying to put this one away here on Forbidden Simple. Can they do it? That is a question. Whiteout trying to make some magical things happen here as Mayo hits that one towards the backboard, the double, not going to come through as Game Buster had that save. NK just going to get a pop, but it's going to be a free touch for Game. Afterburner just needs to put that one on targets, and that touch from Yuki, that's a touch. That's what that was.
I mean, it's definitely what it is. Might have been something that led to a goal for the Gravelords, unfortunately, and you know, your third man as well, very close to each other. Evan playing really far up as well, playing very aggressively, having to go on that back pass from NK, so even though it wasn't the best, his position still had to make him go anyways, and even though he was arguably probably going to lose that challenge no matter what, you still had to go because the pass was there. It was probably calmed and called as well, and NK trying to make up for it as he's trying to get a double tap, but that one is not going to find the back of the net, and Evan trying to get another one going, but he's not going to be able to find that one target either. Whiteout need to get some more offense going. We've seen that they have lacked offense throughout this series, and they need to get something going in the long run, but Silver's going to help him out, I guess, as he's just going to dribble it into his own net. Whiteout going to be able to luck out on that one. Afterburner double commits Silver. Just kind of dribbles past him and beats his own teammate out, and Whiteout somehow miraculously tie it.
That's not miraculous. That is Forbidden Temple talking here, as Whiteout gonna benefit off of that own goal. Nuki gonna say thank you very much. Now, can Whiteout take the lead is the question here. There's still 4 minutes of game remaining here. Evan gonna try to pop that one towards the corner. It's gonna be a free touch though for Silver, looking for the follow, but Nuki gets the nice beat. The shot from Mayo, it's there, it's fast, and it's good.
It's a great play from the Whiteouts. I mean, such speed, able to get the beat on Silver. The follow-ups there as well. Gamebuster a little bit awkward. Afterburner cheating upfield once again. The faith in his teammates becomes a double-edged sword. Gamebuster a little bit over-rotates, over-commits to the front post, expecting a 50 from Silver, maybe being able to follow it if it is a close 50. And Silver trying to cover up this mistake, or these couple mistakes. But unfortunately, a great save there from the Whiteout roster is going to be able to keep them still in the lead. And the Gravelords, we might start to see them panic a little bit. I know that usually they're not ones to do that, but we saw it a little bit in Game 2 when they were down. We saw it a little bit in Game 4 when they were down. And I think that their double commits might become more apparent. They might be making more mistakes as Gamebuster not able to get that touch anyways, as another player from Whiteout having to challenge this one. Another clear goes away. A passing play maybe is Mayo looking to try to dish this one back. He's looking for the pass. NK's there. The shot is on target, and that's a beautiful play from Whiteout. The pass is connecting all throughout their transition from third man in their own back line to first man with the shot there, and a great play from the Whiteout. They take it 2-1 and much needed offense, and you know that's what you want to see. We want to see Game 7.
Gravelords not able to answer to this Nuki offense now, as that one's going to hit the sidewall. It's going to be Mayo getting another long clear. Afterburner going to have to send this one off his own backboard, not able to get the Psycho that I think he was going for, as Evan going to leave that one. Afterburner had that red, but Mayo's going to have the shot. The shot, though, is very, very weak. That could have been a counterattack for Silver. As now Silver looking to hit that one off the backboard. Nuki with a nice touch. That one going to be bouncing really awkwardly here for Gamebuster. Still able to get a dunk there onto Mayo, but maybe in favor of Whiteout here, as Afterburner pings that ball up high, looking for the double. That one off the crossbar. Silver gonna pop that ball up high, and still a shot there from Game. Gonna go wide. That's the kind of goals Gravelords always get. But now Whiteout gotta capitalize on this opportunity. They're up by 2. They can't give up an easy one here. Make them work for it. Afterburner shot gonna get saved away by Nuki. Evan gonna get the clear. That one gonna be followed up by Gamebuster. Passing over to Afterburner. That one towards the backboard. That ball bouncing down. Doesn't have the read, and Gamebuster should have a shot here. That one gonna get saved away by Nuki on the goal line once again. Whiteout holding on, holding strong. 2 minutes remaining here. Evan gonna hit that one towards the corner. Zero boost to work with. He doesn't care. He's gonna pick up that 100. Mayo's gonna go for this one. Hit it around 1. That ball heading off the ceiling. Evan has the read. Evan with 1 touch. Mayo looking for a follow, but it's gonna be sent the other way. Nuki with the 100 boost grab, but it's gonna be a pass out. Gamebuster shot good. Oh, no. But the own goal even better. I think it was actually off target, and I think this was Evan putting that one away.
Yeah, Gamebuster really lucking out there. Had another open net that he put off target, but Evan is there for the help out and the bailout, if you will. Gravelords had an own goal, and now Whiteout returned the favor, and that might be a kickoff goal, but Mayo is able to get the clear. Mayo able to get the follow-up as well, but Afterburner is there looking for a control touch, looking for the B, gets the reset, looking for another, but he's going to get stuffed out by a double commit by Nuki. And this ball popping out high. Silver, not a great touch. Falls right to Mayo's hands. Mayo just has to beat out one, but Afterburner not falling for any tricks. This is going to be an overcommit from NK, and that Afterburner will tie up the game. And NK, Nuki, however you want to say it, pushes up way too hard. Afterburner doesn't fall for the fake. Says you're either going to flick it past me or I'm going to score, and he scores. He turns that from a 0% play to an 100% goal for Gravelords.
That one was the play for Whiteout to kind of put the dagger in and send Mayo. Mayo, I don't know what's going on, but the demo comes through from Evan, a huge one, as that ball going to be bouncing down, but no shot is going to be there for Gravelords. NK now, gonna hit this one up. Game Buster already up in the air, just floating, has that one beautifully read, but it's going to be Mayo on the follow, but a huge dunk there from Silver in the midfield. A minute remaining on the clock. Tied game here. Whiteout, it's not like they're losing, so it's, we still have plenty of time here if you're Whiteout. You don't need to panic. Silver with a not great touch there, gonna have to be followed up by After, and Mayo gonna look for the dunk, and two players here from Whiteout in the backfield as NK pops that ball up high off the ceiling, gets the dunk as well. Afterburner gonna follow up on that one as Mayo gets the 50 in the midfield. That ball rolling well here for Whiteout, but Evan didn't have the read. Some team bumps come through, just some friendly love, some tough love, but might result in the playoff chances going goodbye. Game Buster doesn't get the reset, doesn't get the touch. Maybe he has the shot though. Evan gets the save on the goal line. Zero boost on the side of Whiteout, and Silver puts them away.
Yeah, and you gotta think about how that team bump absolutely killed all the momentum Whiteout had going for them. Mayo gets the bump on his own team, then gets demoed for it, then it's awkwardly popping into the midfield, the shots coming through, the saves coming through, but unfortunately it was too much and too little too late for the Whiteout roster. They could not handle the pressure. They had zero boost. Evan trying to get a shot on target. That one almost saved last 10 seconds. It looks like NK trying to pop this one. Evan looking for a redirect, but that cleared away past Mayo. No one back. Clock ticking 0. NK having to pop this one up high. Buster just trying to kill this one. Mayo trying to catch it, but is not going to be able to. Gravelords steal game number 6 to win this series. Unfortunate turn of events for this Whiteout roster. I thought that they were going to be able to force the game 7. I thought that we were going to see them go the distance. I thought that they would be potentially able to upset the Gravelords, but I mean, honestly, Flip, you got to be a little bit happy looking at this series, looking at how Gravelords played and saying, look, they were not perfect in this series, and I think if they play like they did today, we're definitely going to be able to take it to them. We're going to be able to put up a fight and beat them, and they got to play much better now that they have made the grand finals. They got to step it up once again. They got to try to do better to complete their complete season, but you know, congrats to them for this win today. I thought that they played very well, but it shows once again this, even though they are the 1 seed, even though they're undefeated, they do bleed, they do make mistakes, and unfortunately Whiteout just made a little bit too many.
Gravelords, I called it earlier in the season. I was going to be the one to break their perfect season, and I think it's going to happen. But we'll have to find out next week. That's whenever all the grand finals are getting played, Ventus, and that's going to do it for all the semifinals. We have all the grand final matchups ready here, Ventus, and let's just real quick run through them, because I mean, why not? We got a little bit of time. We got a little bit of time. In the Titan League, we got Nebula facing off against Phoenix. Nebula with a huge run here, Mickey run, by the way. And now we've got Pineapples versus Gravelords, another Mickey run by the Pineapples there. So again, in the Chally League, though, you got Venom Griffins, which I think it's going to be hard to top that semifinal series between Dissolved and Venom, but this Griffins team, they look primed and ready to do it. Origin versus Gladiators here, after Gladiators barely won that game 7, and they are looking to take it to Origin, but this Origin team is looking so strong. And finally, in the Novice League, Diffusion Gorgons is going to be a good one as well. But Ventus, that's going to do it for our semifinals. Thank you guys all for watching this week in the Nemesis Gaming League. We got the semifinals out of the way. Next week is the last week for this season 13, as we have all the grand final matchups. Monday, I believe, is the Novice and Prospect Leagues, and then Wednesday is Chally, Rival, and Titan. And Ventus, if that's all we've got, I think we're ready to head out of here.
Yeah, just really quickly, we want to thank our premium subscribers.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if we
the
have
one.
that graphic. You know, we
I don't know if we have that graphic, but we do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the subs. If you are a premium subscriber in the Discord, thank you so much. We could not do this without you. So shout out to everybody that helps, help Nemesis run. So shout out to Mallow for stepping up and streaming. But with that, We'll catch you guys later. We'll see you guys back on Monday. Deuces.
Shadows on the walls of your skin. I can tell you're lying from the way you're breathing. Shadows on the walls of your sin. Why do I keep trying when I know I can't win? You crystallize, they crystallize me. I'm paralyzed, you crystallize me. You crystallize, they crystallize. 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 Why do I keep paralyzed, you crystallize me. Shadows on the walls of your paralyzed, you crystallize me. You crystallize me. I'm paralyzed, you crystallize. Shadows on the walls of your skin. You crystallize, they crystallize me. Shadows on the walls of your sin. I'm paralyzed, you crystallize me. You crystallize, they crystallize me. Crystallize me.